The planet Carrion 9 was a lonely world, dry, silent, and covered in endless red dust. The sky was always pale orange, and the wind sang through the metal towers of the mining colony like a quiet warning that no one listened to. Far below those towers, deep inside the planet's crust, Elira walked through the tunnels of the new pipeline system. Her boots made soft echoes on the floor of black stone. Around her, long silver pipes ran along the walls, shining faintly under the dim blue lights. Elira was not human. She was from a species called Lyrians, known for their calm nature and special connection with living energy. Her smooth blue-gray skin glowed faintly in the dark, and her large eyes reflected light like glass. She had come to Carrion 9 as part of a trade deal. The humans provided safety for her people, and in return, the Lyrians worked on human projects. This one was called Project Flowline, a massive underground network to carry energy fluid between human colonies. The human engineers said it would bring life to dead worlds. But to Elira, this place didn't feel alive at all. Her small team worked in silence, fixing connections and sealing the long pipes together. The air was hot and smelled of metal and dust. Commander Reeve, the human in charge, watched from a control platform above them. His voice echoed through the intercom. Team 3, you're behind schedule again. The main link needs to be sealed before night rotation. Move it! Elira looked up briefly. Yes, Commander, she said softly, though her voice barely carried through her mask. Reeve was not unkind, but he had no patience for questions. He treated everything like a job to finish, not a mystery to explore. While the others welded and tightened bolts, Elira crouched beside one of the pipe joints. The surface was warm, not from the welding heat, but from something inside. She pressed her gloved hand on it. It pulsed just slightly, like a heartbeat. She frowned. Strange, she whispered. A human engineer beside her, Jonas, laughed lightly. Don't tell me you're scared of a pipe, alien girl. I'm not scared, she said. It's moving. Thermal expansion, he said, waving it off. The metal breathes when it's hot. Perfectly normal. But when Jonas walked away, Elira kept her hand there. The warmth was steady, rhythmic, too alive to be simple heat. After their shift ended, she walked back to her quarters. The corridors were narrow, filled with humming machines and blinking lights. Other workers passed her without much notice. She was used to that. Lyrians were rare here. Most humans didn't talk to them much. Elira didn't mind the silence. She liked listening to the sounds of the colony, the hums, the vibrations, the faint whispers of the machines. But tonight those sounds felt different. She sat on her small bunk and looked at her gloved hands. She thought of the pulse she felt earlier. Lyrians could sense life through energy flow. She had felt trees breathe, oceans move, and even stars sing faintly. But feeling life inside a metal pipe was something new. She couldn't sleep. At the next morning's briefing, Commander Reeve displayed the day's work schedule on a holographic screen. We'll begin sealing Sector 7. Elira, your team will handle the north conduits. And no more delays. Elira nodded quietly. She decided not to mention the heartbeat again. Humans didn't like strange stories during projects. But as they reached the tunnels again, she noticed new things. Some of the pipes had faint marks, patterns almost like veins or roots. When she touched one, she felt a soft vibration. The deeper they went, the stronger it became. By the third hour, she couldn't ignore it anymore. Commander, she said through her communicator, there's movement in the conduits. It feels organic. Reeve's voice came sharp. Organic? These are titanium composite pipes, not worms. Get back to work. Yes, Commander, she said softly. Jonas glanced at her and whispered, You'll only get yourself in trouble. I just want to understand what I'm touching, she said. Later that day, a small malfunction occurred in one of the lower tunnels. A pressure leak caused a vibration alarm to trigger. Elira volunteered to check it, hoping to find answers. She walked alone into the narrow shaft, carrying a flashlight. The air was cooler here. Dust drifted through the light beam. The leak indicator showed nothing broken. But the sound, it was like a soft hum, almost musical. She knelt beside the pipe and placed her hand on it again. The pulse returned, steady and slow. Then she heard it. A voice. It was faint, like someone whispering from inside the metal. The words were unclear at first, just vibrations, but soon they formed into something she could understand through feeling rather than hearing. Help. Us. Elira froze. Her flashlight trembled in her hand. She looked down the dark tunnel. Nothing moved. The hum continued, deeper now, like the breathing of something enormous. "Who are you?" she whispered, forgetting she was alone. No answer. Just a faint echo. "Help us." Elira backed away slowly. Her heart was racing, but not from fear, from wonder. If these pipes were alive, then this entire system wasn't just a machine. It was something living, something buried, maybe even something ancient. She hurried back to the control hub. Reeve stood near the monitors, reading data. "Commander, please listen," she said, breathless. "There's something in the conduits on I heard it speak." Reeve raised an eyebrow. "Speak, what did it say?" "It said help us. It wasn't a sound through the comm system. It came from the pipe itself," he sighed. "Elira, you're tired. These tunnels can play tricks on your mind. The air pressure, the echoes, and it confuses people." "Go rest, I'm not confused," she said firmly. "The pipes are alive." Reeve turned to face her fully, his expression cold. "Enough. If you spread nonsense among the workers, you'll cause panic. I'm warning you, stay focused on your job. Understood?" Elira lowered her eyes. "Understood." That night she sat by her small window looking at the barren landscape. The stars shone faintly through the red haze. She whispered to herself, "Alive?" But how? Her curiosity burned stronger than her fear. She took her scanner device and recorded energy readings from the day. The data showed small rhythmic spikes, energy pulses moving through the network like signals. They weren't mechanical. They were biological, she smiled faintly. "I knew it," she whispered. Unable to wait, she slipped out after curfew, moving quietly through the maintenance tunnels. Only the emergency lights glowed red along the floor. She followed the faint hum deeper underground, past the marked safety zones. The vibration grew stronger and the air grew warm again. Her heart pounded as she reached a wide chamber, a place she had never seen before. In the middle of the room was a huge vertical pipe, thicker than a building column, covered in strange glowing patterns. It pulsed slowly, breathing in rhythm with the smaller pipes around it. Elira approached carefully. "Can you hear me?" she whispered. The pipe shivered under her hand. A soft blue light spread across its surface, forming ripples that matched her heartbeat. Then a low voice filled the chamber, not through sound but through vibration. "You woke us." Elira stepped back, eyes wide. "Who are you?" The light grew brighter, running along the walls connecting to every tunnel. The voice returned, layered and heavy. "We are the flow beneath. We were sleeping. You cut into our veins." She gasped. The pipes were not just alive, and they were part of the planet itself. Before she could respond, the floor trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. The blue light faded quickly, and the voice disappeared. The system alarms began to ring in her communicator. "Seismic movement detected in Sector 7, Reeve's voice shouted through the channel. "All workers evacuate immediately." Elira turned toward the exit tunnel, heart pounding. The pipes around her were still glowing faintly, like frightened eyes watching her. Just before she left, a faint whisper touched her mind once more. Gentle this time, almost pleading. "Don't let them hurt us again." Elira ran back to the main shaft as the lights flickered. She didn't look back, but the image of those glowing patterns stayed in her mind. Now she knew the truth. The pipes were not dead metal. They were part of something living, something ancient beneath the dust of Carrion 9. And if Terracor kept digging and forcing the system to work, they might awaken something far more powerful than they could control. Elira stopped at the tunnel entrance, staring into the shadows behind her. The hum was fading, but she could still feel the heartbeat under her boots. She whispered to herself, almost as a promise, "I'll find out who you are, and I'll help you." Then she turned and walked back toward the colony lights, unaware that deep below her feet, the entire network was slowly waking up. The night on Carrion 9 was silent above ground, but deep below the tunnels whispered. Elira could feel it through the soles of her boots, the faint, steady pulse of life hidden in metal. She had returned to the colony quarters, but sleep eluded her. Every fiber of her being ached with questions. She pulled her datapad closer and studied the readings from the pipes. The energy pulses were not random. They followed patterns like a heartbeat or breathing rhythm. Lyrians could sense life and energy, and she had sensed it clearly. "They're alive," she whispered to herself. "Not metal." Alive, her mind raced. If Terracor forced the system to function without understanding, It could kill the entire network, the very veins of the planet. The next morning, the colony was busy as usual. Workers moved quickly through the corridors, unaware of the quiet drama unfolding beneath their feet. Alira joined her team, but her thoughts were elsewhere. Jonas noticed her distraction. "You look tired, alien girl. Did the pipes haunt you again?" He joked lightly. "I think they want to communicate," Alira replied quietly. Jonas laughed. "Communicate? Pipes, you need rest more than research." Alira ignored him. She knew what she had felt. The pipes had called her, not in words humans could hear, but through energy, through life. She had no choice but to go back. Later that day, when her shift ended, Alira slipped quietly into the maintenance tunnels. This time she carried her Lyrian biolink device, a small crystal she could hold in her hand to enhance her connection to living energy. The device would let her sense more than just vibrations. It would let her see patterns and memory within the energy. The deeper she went, the warmer the air became. The hums grew louder. The walls of the tunnel seemed to pulse with subtle light, and she felt a strange resonance under her feet. Then she reached the wide chamber where the huge vertical pipe stood, the one she had seen the night before. The pipe glowed softly, blue veins running along its surface. Alira knelt and held her crystal to it. Immediately, images flooded her mind. She saw Carrion 9 in ancient times, oceans of blue, forests of green, creatures swimming and walking freely. Then she saw metal structures being hammered into the ground, fires burning, pipelines spreading. The energy veins of the planet were being forced to carry the lifeblood of machines draining themselves dry. She gasped. These were not simple pipes. They were part of the planet's nervous system, alive for millennia, silently supporting life across the world, and TerraCore had awakened them too early. The pipe pulsed under her hand. Alira could feel pain, confusion, and a deep longing. Then, like a whisper inside her mind, "We do not wish to harm, but we are afraid." Alira's heart sank. She had never heard a machine express fear. She realized that the network, the living pipes, trusted her, and they needed someone to speak for them. Over the next few days, she returned secretly whenever she could. She learned more with each visit. The pipes responded to her touch, glowing brighter when she moved carefully and dimming when she made sudden gestures. Through the biolink, she discovered that the energy pulses carried memory. The pipes remembered every time humans dug into the tunnels, every time machines forced energy through them, every time workers sealed sections without understanding. The pain of the pipes was old and deep, but it had been ignored for generations. Alira began to speak to them silently, promising that she would help, that she would protect them if she could. "I don't know how yet," she admitted, "but I will learn." One evening, while Alira studied a junction, she heard footsteps. She turned quickly. It was Jonas. "What are you doing here again?" he whispered, looking nervous. "If Reeve finds you, you'll be in big trouble." "I need to understand them," she said, holding out her hand toward the glowing pipe. "They're alive. They're asking for help." Jonas frowned and looked at the pipe. "Alive?" He tapped it with his boot. "It's just metal. I don't see anything alive here." Alira shook her head. "You can't see it, not with eyes. You have to feel it. The energy. It's sentient. It reacts, it remembers, it suffers." Jonas stared at her, unsure whether to believe her. But before he could answer, the floor trembled. A low vibration moved through the tunnel, and the smaller pipes around them quivered. Dust fell from the ceiling. The hum of the network grew louder, louder than ever. Jonas stepped back, alarmed. Alira touched the pipe with both hands. She felt a pulse running like a river through her body, the life of the planet itself trying to speak through her. "They are waking," she whispered. The floor shook again, and a faint light spread along the walls. This was no ordinary vibration. This was a planetary warning, a call for attention. She realized TerraCore had made a mistake. The system activation planned for the next week could destroy the network entirely. The energy fluid would be forced through the veins of the living planet. It would feel like the entire body of Carrion 9 was being drained. Alira turned to Jonas, urgency in her eyes. "We have to stop them. They don't understand what they're doing. They're going to kill the planet." Jonas swallowed hard. "The humans won't listen to us, and Reeve will fire you if he knows." "I don't care," she said firmly. This is bigger than jobs or orders. This is life. That night, Alira returned alone. She moved quietly, avoiding the main corridors. The hum was stronger than ever. The large vertical pipe now glowed in bright shades of blue and green, and the other pipes seemed to bend slightly toward her, as if they were aware of her presence. Through the biolink, the memory of the planet flowed into her. She saw cities rising and falling, deserts spreading, oceans drying, but in each memory the pipes had survived. They had been patient for thousands of years, waiting for someone who could listen, and now they had her. "We trust you," the voice said in her mind, layered and deep. "Help us survive." Alira knelt and pressed her palms on the glowing surface. She felt a rush of emotion, sorrow, hope, fear, and courage, flowing through her. She understood now. These pipes were not only alive, they were intelligent, aware, and suffering. "They are asking for a bridge," she whispered aloud. "Someone to speak for them. Someone who can make humans see and stop hurting them." Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Rocks fell from the ceiling and the small pipes rattled against the walls. Alira scrambled backward. "Danger approaches," the voice warned in her mind. "Humans will activate us too soon. They will harm us." Her mind raced. How could she stop it? How could one alien engineer prevent an entire planetary system from being damaged? Then she remembered something from her people's history. Lyrians had the ability to merge energy with living systems, to temporarily connect and calm them. It was risky. She could exhaust herself or be trapped in the energy network if the system resisted. But the pipes needed her. Alira took a deep breath. "I will do it," she whispered. "I don't know if I can, but I will try." She placed the biolink crystal firmly in the center of the vertical pipe and began the connection. Energy flowed from her into the system, and the pipes responded immediately. The vibrations steadied, the hum softened, and the light patterns became rhythmic again. "You are the bridge," the network said. Alira felt exhaustion ripple through her body, but also a deep sense of purpose. She had made contact, and for the first time, the planet's living veins were calm. Above ground, the lights of the colony continued to flicker, oblivious to the awakening beneath. Commander Reeve had no idea that the pipes were alive, that the energy he thought of as fluid in metal tubes had a mind of its own. But Alira had seen the truth. She had felt it, and now she had a mission: to protect the living network and find a way to make humans understand it before it was too late. As she crawled out of the tunnels, her skin tired and glowing faintly from the biolink energy, she whispered a promise to the pipes. "I will not let them harm you. I will find a way to stop them. You are alive, and I will protect you." The network pulsed once in response, a faint vibration that felt almost like a nod. Somewhere deep below Carrion 9, the living planet stirred, slowly waking from centuries of silence, and one small alien girl had become its first friend. The day began quietly on Carrion 9, but beneath the red dust, tension simmered. Alira felt it in every vibration under her feet. The living pipes were awake. They pulsed with life, alert and wary. Every joint, every vein beneath the ground shivered like a nervous heartbeat. Above ground, TerraCore Industries was preparing a full system activation. The human executives were eager to push energy through the pipelines, claiming it would optimize colony operations. But Alira knew better. If they forced the system now, they wouldn't just activate the pipes, they would wound the planet. Alira stood on the access platform near the central hub, her biolink crystal in hand. She had barely slept for 2 days, moving between tunnels and control stations, trying to study the network's response. Every time she connected with the HFY pipes, she could feel their emotions: fear, confusion, and a desperate plea to survive. She pressed her hand on the crystal and whispered to the system, "I'm here. I won't let them hurt you. Trust me." The veins of the planet responded, glowing in soft blue and green waves, almost like a sigh of relief. But the relief was brief. The alarms sounded above her. TerraCore had begun activation. Massive energy currents flowed toward the pipes. The vibrations became violent, shaking the platforms, rattling tools, and throwing dust into the air. Commander Reeve arrived, frowning. "Alira, step aside. The system must activate." "They're alive," Alira shouted, holding the crystal high. "If you continue, you'll destroy them." The pipes aren't machines. Reeve shook his head. They are metal, alien. You're imagining things. Move. But the pipes had already begun to act on their own. Smaller conduits twitched, shifted, and hummed like a warning. Energy surged, bending along the veins of the network, and a low vibration filled the tunnels. Dust fell from the ceilings above, and the ground trembled. Illyra grabbed Reeve's arm. Listen to me. Feel it. They are sentient. They can feel pain. Reeve stared at her, caught between disbelief and the shaking floor. Sentient metal. This is impossible, he muttered. Not metal, Illyra corrected him sharply. Alive! They are alive! The energy overload began. Bright arcs of blue lightning danced along the pipes. Some sections expanded slightly, like veins swelling, and Illyra felt the planet's panic through the biolink. It was raw, powerful, desperate. Stop them, or we die. The pipe's collective voice trembled in her mind. Illyra knew she had only one chance. She planted the crystal firmly into the core of the main vertical pipe. Energy surged from her, pure and calm, into the veins of the planet. The hum softened. The light pattern slowed, becoming rhythmic like a steady heartbeat. Her body tingled with energy. Sweat ran down her face and her muscles shook with exertion, but she pressed on. I am your bridge, she whispered. Let them understand. Let them see. The pipes responded. Slowly, almost gently, the conduits shifted, guiding the human energy flows instead of resisting them violently. The overload softened. Arcs of electricity bent harmlessly into the walls, flowing along safe paths. The planet's pulse slowed, calming with Illyra's guidance. Reeve stared in astonishment. The alarms quieted. The tremors ceased. The pipes now pulsed in glowing harmony, and a soft, melodic hum filled the chamber. I don't understand, Reeve whispered. They are alive, Illyra said, her voice firm despite exhaustion. They think, they feel, and they suffer. We cannot treat life as a machine. One by one, the smaller conduits shimmered in acknowledgement. Illyra reached out and touched the walls. The memory of the planet flowed into her. The rivers, the forests, the creatures that had once thrived, and the destruction caused by centuries of human industrial expansion. She realized the pipes had survived millennia of neglect. They had waited patiently, quietly, for someone who could understand them. You are our friend, the network whispered. Thank you. For listening. The words echoed in her mind, soft and warm. For the first time, the living system felt calm. Illyra's heart swelled. Above ground, the human workers stared in awe. The metal pipes shimmered under the sunlight, almost like they were breathing. Engineers whispered, pointing at the glowing veins along the conduits. Reeve looked at Illyra with a mixture of fear and admiration. All this, it's alive? Yes, she said. And it can be harmed if you do not treat it with care. This is more than energy. It is life. The executives, still unsure, demanded reports. But the workers around them saw it clearly. The pipes pulsed with rhythm, flowing and bending with purpose. The energy readings confirmed it. The network had a mind of its own. Over the next few hours, Illyra worked tirelessly to stabilize the system with the pipes. The network responded to her guidance, channeling the energy safely through the veins without stress or strain. The colony's lights remained steady, but below, the living veins of the planet hummed softly, recovering from centuries of disturbance. Jonas approached her carefully. I think I understand now, he said quietly. I didn't believe you at first, but I felt it. The pipes, they feel. Illyra smiled faintly. Yes, and they will survive if we protect them. The Gi. Two of them watched the central pipe pulse rhythmically, a steady, calm heartbeat. Days passed. TerraCore adjusted its operations, trusting Illyra's reports. She became a liaison between humans and the living network. a bridge for understanding, teaching engineers to respect the planet's life and integrate the system without harm. Alira also discovered that the network had intelligence beyond what she expected. It could predict earthquakes, sense shifts in the underground currents, and even communicate complex patterns through energy flow. The pipes were not just alive. They were aware, wise, and patient. And they had chosen her to speak for them. One evening, as the twin suns of Carrion 9 set, painting the sky in fiery orange and red, Alira stood above the main hub. She could feel the gentle hum of the pipes beneath her feet. The colony was quiet. Workers returned to their homes unaware of the life beneath them, but she did not mind. She touched the BioLink crystal, feeling the planet's pulse. The network had grown calm, trusting her entirely. "You saved us," it said softly in her mind. "I only helped you speak," she replied. "The humans needed to learn, and now they will." The pipes vibrated gently in agreement, sending ripples of light along the tunnels below. Alira looked up at the horizon, the orange glow of the setting suns reflecting in her wide eyes. For the first time she felt hope, not just for herself but for the planet and all life connected to it. She had discovered that even in a world of machines and metal, life could hide quietly, waiting for someone to listen. And she had listened. "You are alive, and I will protect you," she whispered one last time. Somewhere deep below Carrion 9, the pipes pulsed in response, a steady, reassuring heartbeat. The planet had awoken, and it had found a friend. HFY message. True strength does not come from domination or force. Humanity's greatest triumph is understanding, compassion, and the courage to protect life, even in forms we do not immediately recognize. And on Carrion 9, a single alien girl had taught humans that lesson, bridging species and awakening a sleeping world.